The wife had no idea her husband was having an affair. She drove to work. Halfway there, she suddenly passed out. The car also drove into the water. At that moment, the woman's husband showed up. He didn't feel the slightest bit of sorrow about his wife's accident. He waited for a long time before calling the rescue team, but they couldn't find the woman's body in front of others. The two pretended to be extremely grieved. When they got back home, they were already planning how to embezzle the woman's property. However, they never expected the woman to suddenly appear at the door. The husband's mistress was so scared that she hid, and she shouted at the man, asking why the woman was still alive. What she didn't know was that the woman had already regained her hearing. Afraid of being killed, the woman had to force herself to stay calm and hide in the bathroom. At that moment, the husband and his mistress were planning how to kill the woman again, but the woman overheard all their plans. The man took the woman to the dining room, claiming to prepare dinner for her. This time, the man's mistress stood upstairs. She wanted to cut the rope of the chandelier, making it fall and crush the woman to death. The woman looked at the chandelier in fear. The man's mistress picked up a knife and cut the rope. The chandelier fell in an instant. That moment, the woman quickly threw the table knife on the ground, pretended to pick it up, and hid under the dining table. Seeing the woman escape the danger, the man's mistress couldn't believe it and ran downstairs. Seeing that the woman wasn't crushed to death, they activated their backup plan. The man brought over the soup he had cooked for the woman. The woman knew there was poison in the soup. She made an excuse to go back to her room to rest, but the man's mistress urged her to drink it while it was hot. To avoid being discovered by them, the woman had to pretend to drink the soup, but then pretended it was too hot and dropped the bowl on the ground. Her husband had no choice but to let her go back to rest first. This made the man's mistress so angry that she wanted to kill the woman directly, but the man stopped her. They began to suspect that the woman had regained her hearing. Just as the woman was going upstairs, the man's mistress picked up the ashes of the woman's father and wanted to throw them away. The woman paused for a moment. They thought the woman had heard their voices, but unexpectedly, the woman pretended to blow off the dust and then left. This made the man's mistress so angry that she threw the ashes on the ground. The woman hid in the bathroom in sorrow and locked the door tightly. The man hurried over, wanting to attack the woman directly.